Right, so back by popular demand, I've just come back to Decathlon to get one of the mechanics, Will, to just talk about the Alur 700. So I'm just joined here with Will at Decathlon in Reading, and he's just going to run through the Alur 700, one of the top bikes in the BTWIN range. So over to you, Will.
Thank you very much. Right, so this is the new BTWIN Alur 700 bike. This is one of the new road bikes that we've got coming out at the moment. Basically the frame material, so we start the frame is 606 on aluminium, so it's a decent grade of aluminium, so it's nice and lightweight, it's still strong. Basically with the new Alur 700, basically we actually remove the bridge from the top part of the chainstay, and we've actually placed it down the bottom part of the chainstay. So if I flip the bike up, you can see that. So the braking is all down the bottom as well now so it's like tri-style, the triathlon style bikes. Basically means it's a better efficiency braking, it's all downforce on the brakes, so it's better suited down there. So we've managed to remove that bridge from there to be able to put the brake down there. With regards to the fork, on this one we use a full carbon fibre fork leg on this one, and it's actually got a tapered steering tube system on there, so it starts at the 1.5 inch and then basically tapers down to the 1 1/8.
So that's a step up from the previous.
It is indeed, yeah, because basically the old forks basically had carbon fibre legs, and then the dropouts were aluminium, but on this one they're full carbon, and then it's got an aluminium steering tube on there as well, just to keep the strength up. Tapering system there as well is basically just to beef up the front end to make it more stronger, so you can take a higher tolerance of any road ride. Then the wheel system on this one is the new BTWIN wheel system. For this year, for the Alur, for the higher range bike, we've decided to use sealed cartridge bearings and hubs like the Mavic Ascium race wheels. This basically means that the bearings last a lot more longer, very minimal resistance, so you roll it more better. And with these ones, we've actually used straight bladed spokes on there, which basically means it cuts through the air quicker, which obviously is going to make you go quicker. Front wheel, strength-wise, is only 20 spokes in the front wheel, all radial laced, so it's straight lacing up. So basically, it just increases the strength of the wheel and makes it run more, more straighter, and obviously lighter weight as well. With regards to the rear wheel, we're using 24 spokes on the rear wheel, straight radial on one side, one crossover on the other side, the drive side of the wheel, just to keep the strength up, because obviously that's where all the pressure's going to be on the drive side of the wheel. Again, as I said with the front wheel, rear wheel, fully sealed cartridge bearings in there, so a decent high-end strong wheel system, which can take the tolerance of longer distance road riding. The gear system on the bike, we've gone for the 105 gear system on the bike, but we've actually used a Pro Wheel crankset, which actually proves to be lighter, stiffer and stronger than the actual 105 crankset that Shimano produce. So doing something different there, just using the Pro Wheel crankset. It's all 10-speed on the rear and a compact chain system on the front.
So that's, what's that, 50-34? Yeah,
50-34 chain ratio on the front chain set. The brake system this year as well, we've actually scrapped using our own BTWIN brakes, and we've actually started using Shimano brakes on the bike. So on this one, because you've got the 105 group system on there, it will come with 105 brakes front and rear.
Cool. So I'm not sure what this is called, but they've just added this feature of, I think it's called a dog's tooth or something along those lines, which is a nice little feature. You can pick them up pretty cheap, but it's nice that they thought about it to put them on there. It's just a closer view of the brakes. That's a better idea, Will. Cheers. So there we go, it's all internal cabling as you would expect. And then the double pivoted brakes. It's looking pretty sexy.
It is a clean looking bike.
Yeah, definitely.
It's actually also electronic group set ready as well. So it's got all of everything is internally routed, so all on the down tube of the frame, it's all internally routed, even on the rear gear system as well. So you can see here, there's no external wiring on the bike whatsoever.
Right.
It's all internal on there, which means if you are running electronic shifting on the bike, so like the Ultegra Di2 or the Durace Di2, then this bike is fully compatible and ready to take all of the wires and electronics.
Cool. Right, let's just get a closer shot of that, the back there without the bridge. That's really sort of attention grabbing. I'm no pro, but I just don't see these types of things on the type of road bikes that I can afford. That's pretty cool.
basically this is the brake release. So as you can see on the front one here, to remove the rear wheel, to basically widen the pads on there, you literally just lift this lever up. As you can see there, the brake pads move away from the rim, which allows you to basically get the wheel in and out easily without having to do the pinch bolt. The one up here is for the rear brake, because obviously where it's mounted underneath the chainstay, they can't actually fit these. So basically, you literally undo this wire here like that, and that releases the brake cable. So you see there's now play in the actual in the cable itself, which means that it's now easy to take the rear wheel off. Simple as that. And then you've got the gear adjusters on there as well.
Sweet. And I'm glad they didn't stick with the blue hoods.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. Would have looked a bit out of place if they put the blue hoods on there.
So what do you reckon? You're going to sell many of these?
Yes, definitely.
So this is the only one that you've got in stock?
This is the only one we've got in stock at the moment, because basically all the overseas shops have received all the first batches of these, and then we'll receive the second batch. So towards the end of middle and end of August, we will start receiving these bikes in.
Cool. And I know you probably can't say a lot, but what was the reasons for the delay?
The reason for the delay was basically a stock flow issue.
Stock flow issue.
Yeah.
I think one of your colleagues mentioned something about a fault with some of the bikes.
There was a fault not with these bikes themselves, with the Carbed 500 SEs.
Oh right,
so
okay.
That was the fault. That was the actual fault with them. These ones was literally just a stock flow issue. We couldn't get them quick enough.
Cool.
And obviously, basically, what happens is all the overseas countries receive the bikes first, and then we get them as well.
Oh right,
so,
okay.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Cool. And I don't know, perhaps it's childish, but I quite like it. But I see they didn't stick with the blue detailing. I suppose it's because it's just black.
No, that's it. Just stealth mode.
Stealth mode.
Yeah, just keep it nice and subtle.
Cool. Oh, that's cool. Okay, well, thank you very much for your time, Will. It's greatly appreciated.